you guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Fiona, and today we are doing a very special video. I think that traveling alone has really changed me so much as a person, and I really want everyone to be able to experience that once in their lives. So today's video is actually going to be about 10 different reasons on why you should travel alone at least once in your life. So whether you're someone who really wants to travel alone for the first time but is scared to, or someone who travels alone all the time and just needs some extra reasons why, in this video I'm going to go over the 10 different reasons why you should travel alone at least once in your life. I'm going to add personal examples, my tips and tricks, and just things that I wish I knew before traveling alone. So I hope this video is helpful. Before we start, please give me a like and comment and subscribe to my channel so that you can join me and my little travel family. And we're gonna have new videos every Friday, and I'm just really excited to be able to share these experiences and share my stories with you guys. Please comment down below your biggest fear or the biggest thing that's stopping you from traveling alone. I feel like so many people have the same fears or are thinking the same things, so it would be really cool to have just a discussion down there, and then we can see if we can try and make you feel better about those things. And yeah, let's get started. So just some quick background information about me if you are new here. My name is Fiona. I love to travel. I actually started traveling alone in 2018, so 2 years ago. I went to Japan alone, and I also went to Taiwan alone for a week. So these are just my two little experiences of traveling alone. Right now it's COVID, so I haven't been able to travel too much, but I would definitely travel alone again in the future. Let's just get right into the 10 reasons on why you should travel alone at least once in your life. So reason one on why you should travel alone at least once in your life is that traveling alone will make you more independent as a person. So before I started traveling alone, I wouldn't say that I was very dependent as a person, but I definitely enjoyed the company. I definitely liked doing things with other people. Not that I don't like doing those things now. I feel like after I traveled alone, I just do so many things by myself. I like to go to the mall by myself. I like to go to the grocery store by myself. Sometimes I like to just go out and eat by myself and take myself out on dates. And I know that that sounds super weird, especially maybe the eating alone part. But honestly, traveling alone just made me realize that if there are things that I want to do, but I don't have anyone to do it with, it's okay to do them by yourself. It's okay to do them for you. Me eating alone a lot when I was traveling alone made me realize that I don't care what other people think about me, or I don't care about how it looks when I'm eating alone. I just care that the food is good and that I'm really enjoying my own company. I think that after you start traveling alone a lot, it makes you realize that you can do all of these other things alone too, and it just feels really nice not to have to depend on someone. Number two on the list of why you should travel alone at least once in your life is the fact that traveling alone makes you a problem solver. So what I mean by this is, quite literally, when you are stuck in a situation, when you're in a country by yourself, you don't know how to read anything, you don't speak the language, you don't know where anything is, it will force you to figure those things out. If you went there with your friends, maybe it's kind of a group decision, a group kind of figuring out thing. But when you're really traveling alone by yourself, if you don't understand what to do, if you don't understand how to fix this problem, you will literally sit there until you figure it out. So an example of this is when I was in Kyoto, the MTA systems, I'm from New York, but I thought that the MTA systems there were super complicated and almost nothing was in English. So I really couldn't figure out if the next stop I needed to get off or not. So I sat there on the subway just wondering, do I need to get off or is it the next one? And I just decided to just tap on the person next to me and ask them, if you don't know how to solve this problem, you don't understand what to do, the best thing that you can do is just ask for help. And that was kind of a problem that I needed to navigate through too, which is asking for help. I'm not usually a sort of person that really asks for help. Traveling alone made me learn that sometimes you can't figure it all out by yourself. Sometimes there's just things that you don't know. I promise you, once you figure them out, it'll make you feel so good about yourself. You're gonna be I did that. I didn't understand how to get here, but I did it. You're oh, I really didn't know how to get to this temple or this shrine, but I really figured it out. And yeah, that's something to be proud of. So number 3 on the list of why you should travel alone at least once in your life is the fact that in traveling alone, you'll learn lessons beyond anything you could have ever learned in a classroom. So what I mean by this is just life experiences in general, I would say. You can't learn how to deal with life in a classroom. You know, you learn to do those things by experience. And what I said before about asking for help, like those are things that I had to learn when I was traveling alone by myself. Those are not things that I ever really learned in a classroom. Also, some other life lessons you learn is like how to watch out for yourself, how to read a map, how to prioritize your day. You learn how to take the metro in other places. You learn how other people across the globe live. You learn perspective. You learn cultural differences, and you learn to appreciate those things too. So the 4th reason on why you should travel alone at least once in your life is that traveling alone will make you more creative as a person. So to be honest, like I never thought that I was a creative person, just because I feel like when I grew up, I just kind of figured that because I wasn't really artistic and I wasn't like someone who knew how to like draw and stuff, that I wasn't creative. But to be honest, after like studying abroad and traveling alone, like all of those things have really changed my perspective. Now I think that like creativity is so different. You could be like digitally creative, you can like paint, like you could like do so many things that are like just super creative. And honestly, like going to those places alone have really inspired me. Before traveling alone, I wasn't really into like taking pictures on Instagram. I wasn't really into photo editing. I wasn't really into like videography or anything like that. But now like I actually created my own website just so I could share like my travel experiences, share my itineraries and like the best Airbnbs and stuff. So you can definitely check out my website. I will post it right here if you're interested. But it's just made me like so creative as a person because it's honestly inspired me so much. And I feel like it's given me the confidence that I need to actually be able to be creative, express myself creatively, and then put those ideas out there. Does that make sense? But yeah, art is kind of based on perspective and like creativity, but like traveling alone just gives you so much perspective like on different cultures and how like people do things differently. Yeah, I would definitely say that traveling alone has given me so much perspective and it's just made me so creative as a person. Okay, so we are on reason number 5, and this is actually one of my favorite reasons to travel alone, and it's the fact that when you travel alone, you get to do whatever you want, whenever you want, and however you want. So I think that everyone travels differently. There's kind of like type A and type B person. I think type A is very like, let's do everything, let's get stuff done, like wants to see everything, wants to try everything, wants to just like do and like just go everywhere. And I feel like type B of a traveler is kind of like someone who really likes to relax and like they're just glad they're able to like get away from their everyday life. They find like joy in like the simpler things, like having a nice hotel room or like just being able to relax by the pool and stuff like that. So I feel like there's such different travelers. Of course there's like everyone in between, but these are just like the 2 extremes that I think exists kind of. So I would say that because everyone is such a different traveler, when you're like in a group setting, obviously you have to compromise. When you're traveling alone, I just feel like it's so cool how you can do whatever you want, whenever you want, and however you want. Like you can eat whatever you want, whenever you want. You could literally eat ice cream for breakfast in the morning. I have done that. Don't count that out. That is good for your mental health. But I'm definitely the type of person who likes to go. I don't think a lot of my friends are really like that. I don't like to spend like any time in the hotel room, to be honest. I like to just like go and see all the sights and then just like collapse in my bed at the end of the night when I'm exhausted. So for me, traveling alone, like that was just really cool for me because like I was able to do so much by myself. Those are things that like I really liked, just getting lost, not having to listen to anyone or ask anyone, just really listening to myself and doing all of the things that I want to do, going to all the places I want to go and when I want to go to them. And number 6 is the fact that you will feel more comfortable with being alone. I feel like after traveling alone, it's really made me realize that like at the end of the day, if literally no one in the world had my back or liked me, like literally no one in the world, not a soul in the world that liked me or had my back, it would still be okay because I know at the end of the day that I will always have my back. I will always have my back and I will always be there for myself and I will always love myself. Number 7 is the fact that it forces you to be adventurous and to live life to the fullest. So the reason why I think that traveling alone makes you more adventurous as a person is, number 1, the fact that when you're traveling alone, you're going back kind of to an empty hotel room. So I feel like you kind of avoid those things by kind of staying out as late as you can and seeing as much stuff as you can. For an example, one time when I went to Taiwan, I remember I was staying at a hostel. It was a $10 hostel actually, $10 a night, but it was a beautiful, beautiful hostel. So definitely wouldn't count out hostels if you go to Taiwan or any place else. But I remember I didn't really want to go back to my hostel room just because I just felt like it was kind of lonely there. And so what I did instead was I actually booked an appointment to go paragliding in the morning. I actually took an 8-hour overnight train ride to this bottom part of Taiwan. I took an overnight train there and I actually went paragliding in the morning. So that was just super, super adventurous and something that I kind of feel like I did because I was alone, and like A, it's easier for me to do it because I was alone, and B, just me not wanting to go back to my hotel room, I was kind of like, okay, so like what else can I do? Like what fun stuff can I accomplish? And that's when I decided to do it. The 8th reason on why you should travel alone at least once in your life is the fact that you can make friends from all over the world. So obviously if you're traveling alone with your best friend or like a group of people that you really like, you're not really more likely to reach out to like another group or another person or another stranger in that country, just because you kind of don't need that social interaction and because you're with your friends and you already really like them. But definitely when you're traveling alone, you kind of want to have that social interaction, especially if you like stay in a hostel or like other people who are traveling alone too. You're just more likely to like strike up a conversation with someone or actually make a real friend from like around the world. Definitely more likely to make a friend, I would say, when you're traveling alone than when you're traveling with your friends. The 9th reason of why you should travel alone at least once in your life is the fact that you will feel super confident in your own skin. There's actually this one quote, which was the reason why I actually went to Taiwan alone. After I saw this quote on Instagram, this was like one of the biggest reasons why I decided to go to Taiwan. And the quote is, "As you travel solo, being totally responsible for yourself, it's inevitable that you will discover just how capable you are." This quote inspired me so much to travel alone by myself because I just wanted to know if I could do it. And then after I did it, I was just so proud of myself for doing it. I just realized like how strong I am as a person, and I really got to like take those like 14 days or whatever and really focus on myself for those days. And I feel like when you really focus on yourself, when you really want good things for yourself, when you really feel like you love yourself, you feel that self-love, like other people will feel it too. You know, like you being confident and being yourself and being exactly who you are will make people feel like they can be themselves too. Like just unapologetically yourself, unapologetically confident, I feel like it'll give other people the confidence to be themselves too. Okay, and we are on the last reason of why you should travel alone at least once in your life. I can't believe we're on the last one already. This just honestly flew by for me. I love talking about these things. I honestly love talking about everything travel, and like traveling alone is just something that I'm super, super passionate about, just because I feel like I've felt the effects of doing it, and I just really think that everyone should do it at least once in their life. So that's why the time just passed by so fast for me. But the last reason of why you should travel alone at least once in your life is the fact that you will never have to wait for anyone to travel again. So I'm sure like everyone has gone through this, where you want to go to the beach, or you want to take some days off, or you want to go to like Mexico, Cancun, stuff like that, and your friends aren't free, or your friends are too busy, or they have work, or they can't make it, and stuff like that. I feel like I used to deal with that all of the time. When I was in college, like I wanted to travel all of the time, but my friends were either too broke or too busy, or we had school so we couldn't go. Just after traveling alone, it made me really feel like I don't have to wait for anyone ever again. Like if I really want to go somewhere, if I really, really want to go, but just go by myself. Like there's no shame in going by yourself. It's not weird. Nobody will think it's weird. The only person that's stopping you is honestly yourself. And yeah, it's just such a powerful feeling knowing that if you wanted to, you kind of could, and you don't have to wait for anyone, and you don't have to be dependent. Okay, and those are my 10 different reasons on why you should travel alone at least once in your life. I hope that this video was super helpful and convincing, that you guys got the chance to know a little bit more about me. If you've traveled alone before, I would love to hear about it in the comments. If you haven't traveled alone before, please leave down which number you thought was the most convincing, number 1 through 10. Honestly, traveling alone has given me so much confidence, so much self-love, and it's made me really independent as a person. And these are just things that obviously I want for you guys too. I want everyone to experience this. You might go and it might not be your cup of tea. You definitely have to try it before you'll know. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and join my little travel family. We will be having new videos every Friday. If there's any topics that you guys really want me to make a video about, please leave them down below and I will try my absolute best to make those videos for you guys. Thank you guys so much for the ongoing support. Love you guys, and yeah, see you guys next week.